I start to get a little bit of PTSD from talking about my experience back in the early 60s. I'm a white woman. I married a black man, and we had, family and children, and we were terrorized. And I contrast that, my experience then, with now, when I'm out with my grandchildren, and there's almost no comparison. We can go places together. We live together. We drive in a car together, no problem. In the 60s and the 70s, the only thing worse than driving in a car black was driving in a car black and white. You couldn't do it.
Right, especially if the white was the woman.
Yeah. I can't even talk about the experience I had. So I haven't experienced, right now I am talking about it, but when I'm with my grandchildren, I don't experience any longer the anxiety and fear that used to sometimes overtake me in the 60s and the 70s. It was horrible. And I have no fear now when I'm out with my family, but I sense that it is getting bad again. I just want to tell you one quick story. In the 60s, my first son was 3 years old. My daughter was 3 months old. We were driving across country to go to New Jersey. I grew up in San Francisco, and we met in San Francisco, but he lived in New Jersey, or from New Jersey. So we were driving across country, and we stopped at a little restaurant, and we never got waited on, and I saw other people getting waited on, and I thought maybe she overlooked me, so I said something to the waitress, and she just looked at me and said, with her eyes looked over there. She said, "You see those guys?" And her eyes looked over there, and I turned, and I saw two men standing over there. They both had shotguns, cowboy hats. They were glaring at us. I said, "Yeah." She said, "Leave now."
Wow.
And I said, "Right now?" Because I hadn't been served. We were hungry. I said, "Right now?" And she said, "Now. They followed us, Tom. They followed us for at least, and this is way before cell phones or anything, they followed us for 40 or 50 miles probably, and I thought we were going to die, I thought they were going to kill us. But we made it. We made it to New Jersey, but we had a lot of really scary experiences, and it was, I used to pray sometimes. It was so bad that I used to, say, "Oh, I wish he was white," or "I wish I was black." It would have been so much easier if we were the same color.
Yeah.
And I grew up in San Francisco in a family that was not racist at all or anything. From, people from all over the world lived there. But we still, even in that city at that time, which was such a cosmopolitan city, and, it was a city of love in the 60s, we had a hard time getting married. Finally, we found Cecil Williams at the Glide Memorial Church, who married us, and my whole family came, and because nobody in my family, I never grew up around racism, and all the people in my family were very accepting of us.
Yeah, remarkable story, Diana. Thank you so much for having the courage to share your story with us. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Tom.
Thank you. Hopefully you've touched some hearts here. That was. And I guess, to the question, are things getting better? Apparently.